Hey, it's me, Sisa, and this is part 41 for my Library of Ruina walkthrough. Like I said last time, we're going to do some general invitations. And I know there's two more left here, I'm pretty sure. Okay, so here's one, Bayard, from Bayard's Office. Okay, so these guys are interesting. Look through fragile to self and gain 1 strength. But that's not worth it. Just take a whole bunch of damage. If immobilized on the previous scene, gain 1 strength through protection, 2 stagger protection. And then everything scenes uses the combat page pinpoint breakthrough. I don't even know if these guys will survive that long. The general invitations are pretty easy. There aren't too many of them. Should be fine. Let's get going. Well, we've dealt with similar jobs before. None shall stop the breath of the wilderness. The library. It doesn't look like it'll be an easy job, as its reputation suggests. Okay, so they like to inflict fragile and paralysis. Okay, boost the slash dice. I don't really have any to play. Let's see if this counter dice can do work here on Bayard. Oh, I am using Zhao's page here. So just a whole bunch of burn upgrades. And I put Lawell's key page in here just because this has hit one of his passives. When inflicting burn, apply 1 additional stack. Target has burn, boost power of offensive dice by 1. Inflict 1 to 2 burn on hit, and when hit, inflict 1 to 2 burn to attacker. You can see there it just inflicted 6 burn on 1 hit. Okay, the counter dice hit once. Took out the 2 bleed. Yeah, they have Valda's fragile, so they take 3 additional damage from attacks. Like, I don't think that's ever really worth it. So I'll use Onrush here. This will stagger him and trigger the effect. So Onrush will get used again full free. And then we want to stagger this character so that all the fire will spread. And then I'll also spread more fire. Oh, 2 staggers. Oh, it's so close to getting 3. Yeah, look at all the burn that just got applied to Bayard there. He's got 14, and if he gets staggered, it'll spread to everyone else. Yeah, Zhao's page is a lot of fun. Okay, so here's Pinpoint Breakthrough. Single use, only one copy of this page can be held at a time. 5 to 10 on hit, inflict 1 paralysis. 15 to 24 on hit, spend all stagger resist to deal stagger damage equal to what's spent. He doesn't have a lot, so that's just an extra 13. I'll actually let that go through just so you can see what the animation looks like. I guess the animation is kind of cool. I've been reading their death messages. Oop. I won't stand back. Shoot, I wasn't quite capable enough. With forfeited faith, we must go on. There's Pinpoint Breakthrough. And he kinda got him killed. I mean, I guess it could be interesting to use, but I don't know. Maybe I'll actually mess around with that. And I did not get his key page. I'm gonna have to fight him again. But first, let's see if I can get the next ones. And now I'll fight Bayard again. I can get through this fight pretty fast. I'll say I really like how their attack animations kind of look like just a gust of wind. Or I guess what you'd imagine a gust of winds would look like if you could see it. Okay, we'll stagger the hell out of this guy and apply a whole bunch of burn. Oh my gosh. Onrush procced on the same person. That's great. It's staggering. And you can see how the burn on everyone just increased by a whole bunch. Can't give up here. It's perched like this. This isn't over yet. Don't let the foe overpower you. You'll probably stagger him even before that goes off. Oh, but I do need his motion level to go up for more books. I mean, I guess that does do like a ton of stagger damage. Interesting. Maybe I'm wrong about that. But being immobilized is just like a death sentence in most fights. One should know well when to bow down. Okay, I should get his key page from burning here. And I got a hat. Got it. Now I can do some reading. Where's the... Oh, you have to click down on these? I could just scroll. Okay. Here's a Bayard's Office Fixers page. Charles' office, the first place Ruina worked, was popular among fixers. It's the subject of a lot of gossip, for good reason, as it was a grade 1 office consisting of just a few elites, handling any request with ease. People would often wonder exactly what kind of fixers were in that office. All we know about the office is that its fixers wore luxurious clothes, and the office interior was fancy as well, in a style unique to the northern side. And that there were 12 fixers led by someone called the Captain, and they've all parted ways now, living their own lives. That's about it. Outside of Renaud, the person who helped us, we've only ever seen Magris and Astolfo, who he would sometimes accompany, and someone called Radamonte. Their attire and weapons were also distinct from what I could see of just those four. I couldn't find anything in common, and the pressure I felt just from being around those powerful fixers, stark difference between me and them was something. I couldn't think much else. That's interesting. Charles' office. Wonder if we'll see them. Now here's Bayard. This wasn't always the prim and proper office of amenable fixers that it is now. It was the complete opposite, actually, full of uncontrollable punks. I tried to gather the rascals in one place and lead them, but it never worked out smoothly. It was a ragtag band of people without a place to call home, like rats. So I got my frustration off my chest when I met my old friend Maggie. Or yeah, I have no idea. Oh, maybe you're more familiar with the name Magris? That was the one they were talking about in the last page. Anyway, after hearing my ramblings, they said that there's someone in their office who would be perfect for the job. I took the offer since I didn't have any better ideas. That someone was Renaud. At first, I didn't expect that spring chicken to be able to do much, but I was surprised to see that he only needed a week to convince everyone. For a guy who looked much younger than me, he had both power and smarts to boast. He had a way with words that persuaded some, and for those that wouldn't listen, he'd settle it with a contest of strength, like in some parts of the back street. Back then, I was kinda jealous seeing Renaud handle something that I struggled with like it was nothing. Now I've accepted that he's the better man. I know that I wouldn't have managed to do it myself. I could have booted him out like a stubborn old man, but I have better things to keep than my pride. Cool. I like these little stories. Now, what's the last one? Maybe that was the last one for Star of the City. I don't know. Oh well. This will just continue on with the main story then. And we're using all these books. Oh boy.
다들 보고서는 미리 읽었겠지?
What is this? Association Southern Branch Section 3 Meeting Room. Or Hana South Section 3. Dude, this place looks cool. I trust that you've read the report in advance. Hana Association will officially be in full charge of the matters regarding the library from now on.
도서관이 도시의 별이 되고 심지어 하나에서 처리할 날이 오다니.
I think that the library will become a star of the city. Become the Hana's target.
정말 미리네 부장 말처럼 되었네요.
Your predictions were right, Director Murine. Harold, you won't survive here for long if you can't figure this much. Your thoughts must be complicated right now, Olivier. Who could have known that my old friend would be found in the library after going missing? You won't botch your job because of that, right? That's that, and this is this. Oh, that's a familiar phrase. That's what he used to say all the time. Good. We have one purpose. We thoroughly examine the relationship between the distortion phenomenon and the library. All conflicts are allowed in the process. The library is a star of the city that shines over us now. Or shines over us. There's still many ambiguous points in their connection. Someone's got to observe the causality, and that someone's us. The library continues to grow in strength, devouring pretty much anything and everything that enters. It's so fierce, it could consume our city at this rate. That's why we should figure out how the library functions as well. To start off, let's recap the current circumstances. The southern branch of the Liu Association seems to be reeling from the shock of losing its most prominent fixers to the library. Its voice in the General Assembly will be small for a while. And I suppose the southern branch of the Liu is being extremely passive at the moment, trying to avoid retaliation from the Thumb? Not exactly. Thumb is suffering from the same problem. They lost their underboss, who was stationed in L Corp's nest, as well as a number of competent capos, so it's likely that they got knocked out of this strife too. Which means the only sizable threat remaining in L Corp's nest is... Yes, it's them. The library unveiled itself as the fog surrounding L Corp's nest cleared away. The blue reverberation. No, the reverberation ensemble set up camp around it, preventing anyone else from approaching. And they're generating a concerning number of distortions from there. Who knows what they're up to in that base of theirs? The blue reverberation. Judging by his recent actions, he can no longer be considered a fixer. He's leading a dangerous syndicate, at least on the level of a star of the city.
동생을 잃은 후부터 미쳤다.
He's gone mad ever since he lost his sister.
이해할 수 없는 것도 아니야.
Not that I can't understand how he must have felt. Venus left an indelible, twisted mark on the city that day.
그래서 인원은 어떻게 분배할
So,
생각인가요?
how is the workforce going to be distributed?
우선 우리 3과는
For starters, us at Section 3 will be focusing on the library.
도서관에서는
The objective is to retrieve as many books as possible from the library itself and secure distortions from the nest.
그리고 푸른 잔향을 쫓는
I'd like you to send an official request to all Grade 1 offices for chasing down the blue reverberation.
1과나 2과는 별다른
Sections 1 and 2 have other things to do, I assume?
1과는 푸른 잔향을
Said Section 1 was dealing with the blue reverb, and Section 2 was after the 8 chefs, right?
맞아.
You got it. Furthermore,
푸른 잔향을 쫓던
received news that Section 1 was annihilated while pursuing the blue reverberation. It dispatched the Vermilion Cross, a color, to join the operation too. Jeez, they took down a color.
말도 안 돼.
That can't be. All of them are gone?
푸른 잔향의 힘은 짐작할 수가 없네.
Can't fathom the strength the blue reverberation has.
그리고 이과에서 받은 보고로는
Section 2 sent a report saying that the 8 chefs have already disbanded.
정확히는
7 of the chefs were found cooked when they arrived at the site, to be exact.
하나같이 시신을 알아볼 수 없을
The chefs were all
정도로
mutilated
심한
badly.
꼴이었다는
It was not impossible to recognize them.
나머지 한 명은
What about the last one?
행방불명.
Gone missing.
동료를 배신하고 그들을 요리했다는
Did they betray their peers and cook them?
아마 아닐 거야.
That probably isn't the
표면적으로
case.
보이는 건
But what happened
그들이
does appear
추구하는
to be something the 8 chefs would do.
그들의
Their
요리법은
favorite type of table
뷔페식이
service was
아니었고,
full course meals, not a buffet.
이를 통해 협회 본부에서는
Based on this evidence,
외부를
would
위한
suggest
해체를 보고
interference from
공식적으로
outside.
별이 졌다는
Association
발표를
HQ
검토하는
is
중이야.
considering to make an official announcement that the star has fallen.
할인의 셰프를 정확히
Our question would be who is behind
관건이네.
the dissolution of the 8 chefs?
설마
Could it be
그래.
indeed?
이과의
Section 2
추측으로는
speculates that the
그 배후에
reverberation ensemble
장난감이
might be the culprit.
어쩌면
Blue
푸른
Reverb
잔향은
might be plotting schemes
협회
beyond the
상점 이사회를
association's
꿈꿀 수도
assumptions.
유례없는 규모의 일들이 이곳 도시
Multiple
남부에서
incidents
동시에
of abnormal scale are
발생 중이야.
happening across the southern quarter of the city.
물론 더 심각한 일도
There have been worse
있었지만
events in the past, but the frequency and convolution of the situation is unprecedented.
하나를 포함해
Free Association is in a state of emergency, including ours.
세븐 협회에 따르면
According to the Seven Association, the southern branches of Trace Association and Sync Association also suffered losses of important members due to distortions.
그쪽이라면
Over there,
핏빛
the Blood Red Knight
늑대의
and
시간이다.
Le Hair de Loup must have been responsible for those,
모두 급속도로
both of
위험성이
which have
증가한
risen in
사건이네.
threat level
인형사는
significantly,
말할 것도 없고.
not to mention the puppeteer.
게다가 어제의 약속은
Moreover,
W
yesterday's
사특이처럼
promise is
무색할
apparently
정도로
capable of
쉽게
teleportation,
공간이동을 한다던데.
with such ease that it puts W Corp singularity to shame.
모두 개인이 품을 힘이 아니야.
Sorry about that, I had a bit of a cough. Okay. Now that those are powers that an individual should be allowed to possess,
뒤틀림은 지금까지의
the
도시를
distortion is
구성하는
defying what the
짓을
city
저지르고
had stood for until
도시의
now.
공기가
It's
바뀌고
changing
있는
the
거지.
atmosphere of the city.
그런데도 머린 별다른 움직임을 보이지 않나?
Is the head doing nothing about it despite that?
무서울 정도로 조용해.
We've been eerily quiet,
아니면
or rather,
머리의 움직임을
our higher ups
의도적으로
could be intentionally
위에서 전달 안
withholding
하는 걸 수도
information on the head's activity.
미리네 부장. 그럼
Victor
우리는
Mirane,
상황에
is it
따라서
possible that we might take our
도서관에서
hands
손을
off the
뗄 수도
library
있나?
depending on the circumstances?
아니,
No.
오히려
In
도서관으로
order to go to the
향하는
library, in
명령이야.
fact,
이 상황을 통제하기
in order to
위해서는
control the situation, we need unambiguous information about the powers of the library and its intentions.
그래도 사건은 우릴 도와
Because Section 4 to help us place a lockdown on Nest L,
잔향 악당을
can't let the
만드는
distortions
기분이
created
기억을
by the
벗어나면
reverberation
안 돼.
ensemble leave the area.
그럼 도서관은 우리 3과만으로 무사히 마무리할 것 같다고 판단한 건가?
Did the powers that be determine that us Section 3 should be enough to take care of the library?
안 되면 우리는
If
거기까지.
it doesn't work out, then that's the end of the line for us. It also means there's nothing more we can do about it.
그럼 도서관은 도시에서
If that
가장
happens, the
자유로운
library
존재
will
중
mark its
하나로서
presence on the sky
하늘의 세계지.
next to the other stars as one of the freest beings of the city,
누구는 사무실에 묶여
while the every man is
하고
working
있는
overnight,
말이야.
restrained to the office desk.
어쨌든 다들 준비하도록 해.
Anyway, get ready to move, everybody.
부장, 회의 끝나고 이야기 좀 할 수 있을까?
Director, can we talk for a moment after the meeting is over?
도시에서 가장 자유로운 존재가 된다니 실감이 나지 않네.
You become the freest being in the city. It's not quite sinking in.
그래, 굉장히 가까워진 것 같아.
Looks like your goal is almost within reach.
맞아.
That's
거의
right.
다 왔어.
I'm almost there. It makes it feel even
더
less
실감이
real.
나지 않는 거야. 하나 협회가 이곳으로
Been through so
찾아올
many
때
things, and now the Hana Association is coming here.
그곳은 해결사
You said the
협회
Hana
중에
Association
제일 큰
is the
곳이라고.
largest among the fixer associations, right?
맞아.
Yep.
저번에 말했듯
Like I said some time ago, the Hana
사무소
Association
허가도
is
하고
the institution
해결사의 등급도 정해주는
that grants
곳이야.
permits to offices and grades fixers.
실시간으로 사건에 대한
They
위험
also
등급
adjust the
조정을
threat
하고
levels of
모두에게
incidents in
알리는
real
일도 하지.
time and let everyone know.
그리고 도시의 별은
The Hana Association sometimes takes matters into its own hands to strike down stars of the city, just like now.
오래 볼 사이라는 건
We'll be seeing them often, since they'll keep sending people here as long as we're a star of the city in all likelihood.
이상하네.
Strange.
뭐가?
What is?
별거 아니야. 큰
Nothing.
손님이 왔으니까
I have important guests to
준비나
greet,
제대로
so just make sure to be prepared.
환영합니다, 손님.
Greetings, dear guests.
그거 알아?
Did you know? The library is visible from anywhere in Elcort's Nest now.
무슨 말씀이죠?
What do you mean?
도서관을 지켜주는 안개가
The mist that protects the library is almost gone,
곧
which
도서관을
means it'll
통째로
become
무너뜨릴
possible
수
to
있다는
demolish the
뜻이지.
whole library from the outside soon.
그러니 여러 대책을 세우는
You'd better
게 좋을
start
거야.
making backup plans.
자, 악수.
Here, let's shake
난
hands.
하나 협회
I'm Mirane,
남부지부
Director of Section
상과부장
3 of the Hana
미리네야.
Association Southern Branch.
손님과 악수하는 건
My first time
처음이야.
shaking hands with a guest.
도시의 별이라면
You become a
앞으로
star of the
하나
city,
협회와 자주
which
볼
means
사이가
you'll be
되겠지.
seeing our association frequently from now on.
너무 싱겁게 우리에게 지는 별이 되지 말아줘.
Please don't fall too easily for us now.
다들 악수부터 해.
Go ahead and shake her hand, everyone.
하나협회 남부 3과 해결사
I am Harold, a
Harold입니다.
fixer from Section 3 of the Hana Association's Southern Branch.
하나 협회 남부 3과 해결사.
Olivier, a fixer
Olivier.
from Section 3 of the Hana South.
저도 부디 오랫동안 볼 수
I hope to be
있기를
greeting
바랍니다.
you for a long time.
올리비에, 도서관의 주인과 얼굴 도장도 찍었으니
Olivier, you can go
이제
back
넌
now,
돌아가도록 해.
seeing as you've met the owner of the library face to face.
이과 사람들이 불렀잖아.
People at Section 2 are expecting you.
그러지.
Got it.
무슨 꿍꿍이죠?
What is the meaning of this?
올리비에는 당신과 악수
You need to
한번
be
시키려고
sensitive.
들어온
I
거니까.
brought Olivier here so he could get a handshake from you.
이만
I'll see myself out
먼저
then.
들어가겠다.
설마
I think we've come here with a carefree attitude?
걱정하지 마.
No need to worry about
우리도
us
너희를
underestimating
우습게
you.
보고
We didn't come
대책
here
없이
without a
찾아온 건
countermeasure, you see.
도시의 별인 만큼
Since you're a star of the city,
그리고
and we're fixers of the Hana Association,
해결사인 만큼
we should treat you with due respect.
그에 맞는 예의를 차리고 대우를 해야겠지. 각오해.
Prepare yourself.
오늘
The star of the
도시의 별
city is
하나가
going down tonight.
질 테니까. 예,
Understood. May you find your book in this place.
찾으실.
And that's what Zhao said, and look what happened to her. Okay, so these guys are pretty cool. They have these 4 special combat pages that gives them these different effects. We'll see those in the fight. They've got some pretty interesting cards. Yeah, let's see this 5 cost. Just a whole bunch of dice. 5 dice in total. It's pretty interesting. Basically, when they use this, we're not going to have... It's going to have that leftover evade dice, so if we try to get a one-sided clash in, the evade dice could get in the way, which is a little annoying. Unyielding Strike, pretty easy to clash with. Let's restore 1 light. Celestial Spear, kind of annoying. 9 to 20 on hit, deal 5 damage to target. This is a lot like Transpierce, 6 to 18, deal 5 damage to target, but just better. Because you get that draw. Confrontation, give 1 protection to all allies, and protection means that they'll take less damage. Godspeed, gain haste, and if speed is 7 or higher, all dice on this page gain +1 power. Race up, discard a random page, draw 2 pages, and then just some restore light. Pretty easy. We've got 1 floor to deal with 2 acts. Get to it. Just as the report's described, it doesn't quite feel like a library though. I'm seeing familiar uniforms. Is that how they steal the strength for the guests that have come here? That's funny. They probably say like the Art Corps uniform. And they're like, oh, what the heck? Yeah, so your best bet to deal with Celestial Spear is just to block the damage from it. Or I guess use block dice to mitigate the damage. I'll use leap to draw. I could use this to clash with one of the spears. It'll probably land 15 to 28 versus 9 to 20. I'll go ahead and do that. Might be a little short on light for her next scene though. Oh yeah, you can see the little diagrams below their characters right now. You can see a lot of them are different. It means that they're using different effects. Yeah, so as you can see, so here's Re, so draw 1 page. This character is using Gone. You can learn endurance and take 3% less damage, stagger damage from attacks this scene. Another Gone. Was this Gion? I don't know. In 1 strength, deal 2 more damage and stagger damage from attacks this scene. And then same thing. At least none of them are using that spear attack, though. There's one. I spoke too soon. Okay, so I'll hope that my counter dice can do some work here. And I really need to get someone staggered. Okay. No, goodness is almost staggered. This guy's using that super annoying card. Oh, they all are. Okay, well, I should be able to stagger this guy using Onrush. I'm gonna do that. Hopefully that wreaks a lot of havoc. Now, if you have counter dice, a counter dice could roll against all of those, but these do have pretty high rolls, 7 to 10. Obviously, this like counter dice here is just a 3 to 7. I guess is getting boosted once by enduring. He's got 5 protection. Yeah, they all have so much protection right now. That's crazy. Let's see if I could use disposal, that'd be really good. Now this dude's gonna get staggered, so I don't need to worry about that dice. Really don't want her getting staggered. Actually, I need to put damage on this guy. Okay. And those cards are no joke. They still hold them back a little. The damage isn't fatal, at least not for now. Should be fine for now, I'm sure. It's going to be over soon. Hang in there, everybody. Okay, so now I've got 2 characters dangerously close to getting staggered. Okay, so I can use Castigation here. This actually still has a chance of losing though, because it only reduces the power by 12. Okay, so she might get staggered here. Actually, probably will. what I could hope for here is I could go for the stagger with this character. Actually, no, the infinite dice will beat the 7. Actually really want to try to stagger this guy. He's got the Force of a Wildfire effect. He's also pretty low on stagger as it is. Alright. Yep, I lost out. I took a lot of damage on her. Kind of unfortunate. We still have another act. Okay, we got those 2 staggers, so the fire is spreading. Got to do what I can. I was too careless. Oh no! I let an attack slip through. Okay, that's kind of bad. Put a lot of abnormality pages on her too. That's okay. Because now we have Zhao, and she has her own ego, as you can see here. That activates. I don't know if this actually shows in the effects, but when she hits emotion level 4, her ego comes out and we get our own mass attacks and stuff. This would be cool. I'll show this off because I love the animation for this. It's so cool. Just a giant flaming dragon taking them down. Yep. Ibber's gone. Now we get to face these guys. So they have some pretty cool effects. When gaining strength, endurance protection, or stagger protection through combat pages, give the same status effect to a random other ally as well. So this can be a little scary, because she has this card. Obviously, since this is an on use, gain 1 strength next scene, but on hit, gains 2 strength next scene. So the 1 strength is always guaranteed to apply to her and another one of these guys. And then the 2 strength could be applied next scene to both her and another ally. So that can get a little out of hand. So we really need to win these first clashes. Very important to pay attention to that. Then there's this true trigram formation, which gains a special effect depending on which trigram is active for the scene. And you can see all those on the right side of the card. And then the rest of it's pretty much the same. Celestial Spear is still super annoying. We've got Herald here. This also has an interesting effect. Character took damage from attacks in the previous scene, changes his character's resistances against the type that dealt the most damage to endured for the scene. Pretty interesting. It's kind of, or I guess she's kind of tanky. And we're only playing with 4 characters. This is going to be fun. Anyways, I expect us to see each other often from now on, so nice to meet you. Victor Mirne, should we get started? Let's try to show some results. The distance is close. Let's observe the opponent's behavior first. Okay, so she's drawing, and she'll get even more draw from this. I actually want to use these mass attack. As you can see, Zhao's page has reverted. I don't know if there's like a timer or if I have to hit emotion level 5 to activate her ego again. I don't remember how it works, fortunately. Okay, so I'm gonna try to apply as much burn on this character as I can and then get the stagger in the same scene. Get burn everywhere. Smile hitting everyone so everyone in their team is affected by 2 feeble and 2 disarm. My clashing much better. And it also 8 dice. Look at that, 20 burn on that guy already. And got the stagger. And we'll take absorption. Okay, Dipsy is gonna pretty much win this fight now. 17 to 28 mass summation, on hit recover 5 HP, gain 1 strength next scene, and then the targets all receive 1 strength and 5 bleed. Yeah, so you can kind of see Zhao's page transforming here. She's developed the armor and stuff. I think next scene, that means she'll actually go into ego. So we'll make sure we win against this. And draw a whole bunch. All right. really solid damage there. Nice, we hit 11 charge, so we'll have strength for everyone seen. Damage isn't fatal, we've seen that. I'm not upset. Try to stay composed. Yeah, we defeated at this rate. Okay, yeah, now Zhao is here. As you can see, person that used Dipsia last turn now has 5 strength. And it's such a good ego page. Oh my gosh, that block dice won against Celestial Spear. That's surprising. We didn't come here without a plan. Look at this 25 burn. This is basically what Zhao can do in the boss fight if your characters just keep getting staggered and everything. How many books am I getting off these guys? 3? Okay, I can just autoplay from here, I think. Yep, there's that leftover evade dice. He's gonna die to burn. I mean, she. Star's already risen too high up in the sky. Oh, look at that 39 burn got transferred to her. She melted. Whole bunch of books.
만난다고 생각했는데
I thought I'd see him in person, but my expectation was off.
아는 사람이 있어?
Is there someone you know among them?
친구를 만나는 건가
I was
싶었거든.
thinking I might have to face an old friend of mine. Good thing I didn't.
그나저나 상상 이상으로
By the way,
그때 상황이
it looks like the
안 좋게
situation
돌아가나 봐.
out there is worse than I imagined.
호들갑을
Even the
떨지.
Hana Association is making a big deal.
도시가 망가지고 있는 걸까?
Could the city be breaking down?
아니.
Nah,
걱정하지
I
않아도
don't think you have to worry about that.
도시는
City carries on somehow.
머리가 있는 한 도시의
As long as the head
본질은
stands,
변하지 않을까.
the city's nature won't change.
머리는 정확히 무슨
What
일을
does the head
하는데?
do exactly?
워낙 베일에 가려져 있어서
Shrouded in
너무도
layers of
자세히 알지
secrecy, so no one knows in detail.
머리가 직접 관리하는 날개인
A-Corp, the wing
에이스는
directly run by the head,
중앙적으로
does stuff like
특허
managing
관리,
patents,
족대,
minting, and
날개 권한
authorizing
부여 등의
wings
일을
on the
하고 있어.
surface.
도시를 숨쉬게 하는 모든 중요한 요소를 다
It's in control of all the important factors that make the city breathe, basically.
그리고 도시를
They seek out
무너뜨리려는
anyone
자를
plotting to overthrow the city and
어떻게든
uproot
찾아서
them.
걸러내.
머리도 날개 중 하나인
It
거.
makes the head one of the wings, at least ostensibly.
머리, 눈, 발톱은
The head, the eye, and the claw directly manage and run A Corp, B Corp, and C Corp respectively.
조율자와 발톱으로?
Through arbiters and claws?
그런 건 또 알고 있네.
Huh. How do you know about that?
붉은 안개가 있었던 연구
Research
시설이
facility the Red Mist used to be part of fell because of the head.
칼리는
To protect her colleagues, Callie killed the arbiter and the claws before succumbiing to injuries herself.
뒤에 있는 이들을
I
지키고자
can only guess that she fought with all her strength to save those behind her to the last
다시
breath.
볼 수 없겠지.
And I suppose that is something that could never be replicated. And that's all in Lobotomy Corporation.
어떤 느낌인지 알겠네.
I can kind of picture how that would have looked.
뭐 아무튼
Well, going back to where I was, when the head determines something to be an impurity of the city, they'll send arbiters, beholders, and claws to try and get rid of it. The beholders are the eye.
그날의 연구는
Was there research in
도시의
impurity to the city?
불순물이었던 걸까?
하지만 정말 이상한 걸.
Something about that story doesn't sit well with me though. I heard it from Hod and asked her the same question.
도시 내부도 아닌
An arbiter
외곽의
paid a
연구실에
visit to a small laboratory in the outskirts, not even inside the
난
city?
아직 이 부분을 이해할
That's the
수
part I
없다는
don't get.
너도 여러 사서에게 들어서
The other
알겠지만
librarians likely have said to you, she is telling you the truth,
나도 그 이유를
though I don't
모르겠지만
know the reason either.
머리가 지금은 잠잠하다는
The head staying quiet at the moment because they deem the current state of the city to be acceptable?
일단은 그렇다고 볼 수
I
있겠지.
guess? It's not like we've had a visitor from the head.
머리가 도서관에 온다니.
The head coming to the library. I'm curious how it will turn out.
오래 살고 싶으면
Sure, you'll want to draw as much attention as possible if you want to live long. I think that was sarcasm. Now we've got these two realizations. I want to see if I can do that general... Oh, actually, I need to burn those, don't I? Hold up. I'm wondering if the last general reception I'm thinking of is up here. Hey, we got all the pages. I'll read those first. Hana Fixer's page. Each association has a creed or maxim that reflects its atmosphere. Some emphasize gallant passion, while others aspire to a quiet and cold attitude. You can see that this seems like it's referencing the Leo Association, and this would be like the She Association. Hana Association is no exception in that it has a number of outwardly seen principles. Coincidentally, they represent the most basic ideas of the attitude a fixer must have. Must exercise concentration and resoluteness in all situations, be diligent to detect the emergence of a new flow, yet be wary not to be swept by the flow yourself, as our occupation involves placing some on low positions and holding others in high regard. Must secure the values that constitute our frame, while amending outdated parts of our ideologies. Thus, we need to have an open mind that can accept opinions that differ from our own in moderation. Be willing to listen to the criticism of others and acknowledge it, but be cautious not to throw yourself into confusion by accepting any and all opinions, changing yourself without due consideration. Change what needs to be changed, but be stubborn about the rules we've maintained. In conclusion, we mustn't fall for temptation or deception. Much like how a foundation influences the structures that stand on it, these principles serve as a basis for all associations to uphold. Being the association that supervises the system of fixers in general, the principles of the Hana are also applicable to the mindset any fixer should have. Okay. Now, Herald's page. Some people ask how stars of the city, the highest level of urban hazards, are any different from impurities. They wonder, aren't they disrupting the city's order? If you ask me, this city as it exists with the stars might be what the head thinks as the ideal image of the city. In the universe that is the city, a center of mass forms for each person who bears a wish for something, and clusters of dreams comparable to interstellar matter gravitate towards those centers. Driven by the force people exert in their effort to reach those goals, such nebulae repeatedly expand and contract until they finally fulfill their wishes, creating a star whose glow we can observe. People who witness the sparkle of that star admire how brilliantly it shines in the dark, and entertain the hope that they will shine as brightly one day, making yet more centers in the universe. Of course, some people will have their eyes fixed to the ground, too busy to gaze at anything other than their path ahead. However, once a person sets their eyes on a star, they begin to head towards it, using its guidance like a compass. Although they probably aren't trying to become a star themselves. They merely want to shine with their dreams for once, not to indulge in the sense of superiority that comes from being high up in the city's sky. Kind of an interesting concept. How, like, just the city works. I guess how it, like, progresses, right? Now here's Mirene. There are 12 fixer associations across the city, and the Hana Association is the one in charge of general management of the rest. We're renowned for rating the threat level of hazards that occur in the city and grading fixers and offices. On top of that, we give out fixer licenses, issue official documents about certain requests, and assign colors to fixers who prove themselves to be beyond the grading system. Our association calls the shots on pretty much everything regarding fixer activity, although there's one thing the Hana Association can't touch on. The ratings of hazards in the city are as follows: Urban Myth, Urban Legend, Urban Plague, Urban Nightmare, Star of the City, and Impurity. Most other associations only deal with stars of the city or lower, even though Hana Association has control over grading the hazard. There's one grade our association can't assign, the Impurity. Only the head has the authority to decide that. I don't know the exact rationale behind designating impurities. From what I can see, they seem to declare beings that defile the city as impurities and banish them to the outskirts. I suppose the head manages that part since things like the ethics of the city aren't subjects we're qualified to discern. Interesting. And we're in Impuritas Civitatis, so that might apply to us. I don't know what the combination is for the last general invitation I'm thinking of. Maybe it's lower. I'm actually gonna have to look that up now, because I don't know. Alright, for the next part, I've got some realizations to do, so that will be a ton of fun. I'll see you then. Peace.